Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about the match between Barcelona and Real Betis. And yes, it is finally confirmed. Barcelona have won against Real Betis 2-1, which basically means that Barcelona will be going to the Champions League next season. Can you believe it? Yes, I know that it may seem like one of the most ridiculous goals because Barcelona is supposed to be making it in like every Champions League, in every season. But Barcelona have gone through many hurdles, many obstacles through this season. It did seem like we were not going to go to the Champions League, but now we have made it. We have done the job. We have beaten Real Betis. We have scored 2 goals, and thanks to Ansu Fati, who has finally returned from his injury, and thanks to Jordi Alba, who has scored the last-minute winner for this club, again, we have made it to the Champions League. This is some great news, financially, right, economically, sportingly, everything. Xavi Hernandez is probably very proud. He is relieved. He's finally going to be saying, yes, finally, we can do this. Let's go into this transfer window. Let's get the transfers that we need to get. Let's see what players can make it into this team, and let's make a very big statement for next year's Champions League. It should be very, very exciting because there is so much that we should be looking forward to. Like with the qualification of going to this tournament now, does this mean that our negotiations with certain players are going to get better? Who stays? Who moves away? There's going to be so many answers that it is going to be upcoming within these couple of weeks, and all of this is going to be discussed within this YouTube channel as always, right? So what we are going to be doing within this video is talk about basically the summary of this whole game. I'm going to be talking about the first half, the second half, and then give the conclusion of this game. Guys, I am just so excited. I am very relieved. Was it Barcelona's best game against Real Betis? No, it wasn't. Barcelona did not really play well, but we got the job done. Because if there was one thing that I just wanted to happen through this season is to get this season over with, to get the qualification in whatever way we can, and just get this season done and dusted. But before we go into any of this, I do want to speak about the OneFootball app. The OneFootball app, it is the best football app that you could find within the App Store. If you currently do want to find out what is going on with your favorite player, your favorite team, if you want to see what the league table is looking like, if you do want to read any tactical articles or any articles in general that does have to do with your favorite team or player, you can find all of that information within the OneFootball app. If you do want to download the OneFootball app, you can so by scanning the QR code that you do see here on the screen using your camera on your phone. But if you do not have a camera available next to you, you can also just click the link that will be provided down below on the description box and on the pinned comment. It'll take you straight to the App Store. You can download the OneFootball app. Once you're there, you can set exactly who you do want to follow, and then you'll be set and done from there. It's a very easy process. It's also for free. You guys will not be disappointed, and I also do want to thank the OneFootball app for supporting a content creator. But now, let's get back into the video. But now let's go into the first half and just talk about it, right? Because we saw a very expected lineup. We knew that Ansu Fati was not going to be starting. We knew that Memphis, Ferran, and Dembele were going to be the front three. And so we're like, okay, fine. This is going to be the starting 11. Let's see what they could do. But to be very honest, we go into this first half and I expected more movement, and especially coming from the front three. We expected more from that front three when it comes to Dembele, Ferran Torres, and Memphis. Like the only player that had the real impact within that front three and placed those balls inside the box, it was Dembele. Dembele was the one that had the most crosses, the most dribbles. Yes, we saw Ferran and Memphis almost receive those crosses from Dembele, but it was always either too high or too low, maybe sometimes too late. So there needed to be more understanding between all three players, and Barcelona were suffering from that. But here's the thing, right? We started well. We just ended very flat in those first 45 minutes. Like within the first 10 minutes of the first half, we saw Frenkie drive the ball many times into the final third. We saw Memphis Depay making those runs from the left to the center. Frenkie feeding those balls to Memphis, something that we do love to see. That Dutch connection between those two players, it is something phenomenal. But as the game went by, as we went past those first 10 minutes, we digressed, right, as a collective, and especially from Frenkie and Memphis Depay, we saw less and less from what they were doing within the first 10 minutes. And so I do not know if it had something to do with the intensity of Real Betis, or maybe it's because Betis knew exactly what pocket of spaces to attack, which made Barcelona very concerned on how they were going to defend, because we saw many players run through between Dani Alves and Ronald Araujo, which forced Frenkie de Jong to drop a little deeper than usual and try to cover every time Real Betis went on for the attack. But this Barcelona side in the first half, it screamed, right? They needed much more from Frenkie and Memphis. Basically what they were doing within the first 10 minutes, because they provided the opportunities. They provided the other source of attack besides Dembele. So when we saw Frenkie and Memphis Depay get turned off, yes, we did switch towards Dembele, but it became too predictable. predictable for Real Betis, and so we needed more intensity. The tempo needed to improve. Like, yes, have we improved overall through the season when it comes to the intensity and tempo? Of course we have, but we're not close to where we want to be when it comes to the macro standpoint. Like, we want to be at the level of intensity and tempo of Liverpool and the cities and many other clubs. Like, I honestly do believe that if we were at that required level when it comes to the intensity and tempo, we would have dispossessed Real Betis so many times every time they were trying to get out from their own defensive half, and that could have led towards us punishing Real Betis and maybe even potentially score a goal. Like, we really did need that, but Barcelona, we're not up for that type of challenge. And so here is the end result when it comes to the last 45 minutes. We saw Real Betis become much more superior to Barcelona when it does come to the total shots, the shots on target, the shots on the bar. Real Betis saw way more chance, and then when it comes to Barcelona, you look at the average position, Xavi, Frankie were not that high like they used to when it comes to them sitting between either Ferran and Memphis or Dembele and Ferran. They were not making those runs up top and trying to connect with the other forwards. They were sitting much deeper than usual, and even when it comes to Ferran Torres, he was not as high as he used to be. He was almost playing as like a false nine. So things greatly did need to change, and we go into the second half and we basically almost saw the exact same thing. We even saw Xavi Hernandez screaming at his players for having sloppy plays within the first 5 minutes of the second half, and so things were getting very worrying. We're like, okay, Barcelona, they know exactly our situation. Like, these players know exactly what we need to do. Why aren't we reacting? Why aren't we acting like we need to win in order for us to go to the Champions League? So as we progressed through those 45 minutes of the second half, the intensity coming from these players of Barcelona, it gradually went higher and higher. Now, Pellegrini did one very smart thing to combat Barcelona's attack. Every time we tried to go higher and higher up the pitch, he ordered Iglesias, who was basically the holder and the striker for Real Betis, to basically every time he received the ball, he holds the ball, waits for Juanmi to make those runs from the left to the center. He goes and runs through the midfield, and then he places that ball to Juanmi so Real Betis can have a better chance of scoring that goal. And let me tell you, those runs that Juanmi was making through the center, it really did trouble Barcelona, because this type of pace and runs coming from Iglesias and Juanmi, it killed Dani Alves. Now this moment was very dangerous. Like, Dani Alves, he was a inverted right back, and Real Betis knew exactly how to correspond with something like that. They said, okay, if Alves is going to almost be basically in the center with Araujo and Eric Garcia, and they form that back three, let's run through the center, because Dani Alves does not have the capability to make those runs every time Juanmi goes through the center. And so it was a very dangerous moment. Barcelona really needed to respond to something like that, and they have done that because they grew into the game. We saw Xavi Hernandez make some substitutions, like having Aubameyang come in, take away Memphis Depay, and then having Ferran Torres go onto the left wing. We saw Aubameyang make those smart runs, and we saw Ferran Torres move a lot better from the left and then through the center. Real Betis, of course, they had to lower their position because Barcelona were moving much better within that attacking line, and then Xavi continued to make more substitutions. He's like, okay, you know what, let's refresh the whole front three and let's see what we can do. So he brought in Adama Traoré and Ansu Fati, which is the second game that he has played since returning back from injury. And we saw Ferran Torres basically leave the game. He left very frustrated because he knew that he had opportunities to score, but he did not take advantage of that. And so we saw him on the bench. He was questioning, what did I do wrong? I did everything right when it comes to the runs, positioning myself, but I did not score. And I know that Ferran Torres is going to be getting at that level, but tonight was just another night where Ferran Torres had to suffer. But he did everything else correctly and 100% well, besides being very clinical in front of goal. And then a few moments later, not even probably 2 minutes later, we saw the one player that many of us have been wanting and dying to see through this season. We saw Ansu Fati, which again did not even take more than 2 minutes to score the goal for Barcelona. So this is what I do mean, right? Like, this is what I mean when I say that Ansu Fati is not like a Memphis Depay or Dembele type of player, which basically means that Ansu Fati does not need minutes to score his goal. He is not someone that needs about 90 to 180 minutes to score his first goal when he returns back or when he is being placed in and out off the bench. Every time you give Ansu Fati that opportunity to go on the field, he is going to be finding that goal and find that extremely early. I cannot believe Ansu Fati has done this for almost the third time through the season. I do think that Ansu has done it against Levante at the Camp Nou when he returned from injury. He got injured again. He came back to face up against Real Madrid in that Super Cup semifinal, and Ansu Fati again scored within a span of like 2 or or 3 minutes, and then he has done it again, my friends, for a third time against Real Betis and scored within a span of 2 minutes. And thanks to the assist coming from Jordi Alba, he has crossed the ball straight to Ansu Fati. Ansu Fati basically taps in the ball in the bottom left corner, and it was 1-0 up for FC Barcelona. And so, like I've said, what Ansu has been portraying through the season, he is talented. He is someone that is born to score. He really does remind me of like someone like primed Eto, where he only needs one touch and he scores the goal. Like the best way that I can put this when it comes to his talent is basically like this. If you put his talent on auction, I don't even know if that even makes sense, but if you put his talent on auction, it is priceless. There is no price for a talent like that. What he does and he has within his disposal, you cannot get that anywhere else. And so we are so blessed, my friends, that Barcelona do have a very talented player like Ansu. I cannot wait to see what he's going to be like next season, with the likes of him being accompanied with Xavi, Pedri, Frankie, all fully firing. But a couple of minutes later, we saw basically the exact same movie. Of course, Barcelona were not going to be defending their lead because Real Betis did score like 2 or 3 minutes after. Again, it's the exact same movie. I don't know what is up when it comes to Barcelona's mentality on defending their lead, but they did not do that after Ansu Fati made Barcelona go 1-0 up. But in the end, when it came to those last 5 minutes, Dani Alves made a cross straight to Jordi Alba. Jordi Alba hits the ball and rockets that ball into the net and makes Barcelona go on to a lead of 2-1, and the game was over. The game was over, my friends. Because of Jordi Alba, because of the assist coming from Dani Alves, Barcelona have been able to achieve the 3 points and go to the Champions League next season. That is the only thing that matters. I am, in a way, I do like want to be frustrated within this game because we did not play well, but it just doesn't matter at this point. We have 3 games left. We have progressed to the Champions League, and that is the only thing that matters. Like, we're not going to go into first place. There's really nothing else for us to fight for. We have done our job. We have gotten the result, and let's see and just restart, right? Let's go into the summer, restart, bring the transfers in, take these players that we do not need to go out, and let's begin very strong in the preseason. So congratulations towards Xavi Hernandez, congratulations to Jordi Alba, Ansu Fati, Dani Alves, Ronald Araujo, who was the one that was fighting for Barcelona through this very terrible season. I want to congratulate all of these players for getting the result. But that is going to be wrapping up today's Barcelona post-match review. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys in the next video.